Hello and welcome. Could laughter be the next weapon in the fight against terrorism? It seems to be working in India, where a movie spoof about Osama bin Laden has proved to be an unexpected hit. Tere Bin Laden puts a satirical spin on the roles of the media and the US war on terror, seen through the eyes of its main character Ali, a struggling Pakistani journalist who dreams of moving to America. When Ali crafts a fake jihadist tape with an Osama bin Laden look-alike, US and Pakistani officials embark on an international manhunt that is as telling as it is entertaining. Well, in Pakistan, where the story is set, officials have banned the movie, saying that the presence of a bin Laden in a comedy could cause enough offence to trigger more terrorist strikes, emphasising that al-Qaeda actually poses a serious threat there. On today's show, we ask, is there room for humour when it comes to tackling terrorism? Remember, you can join our conversation with your questions and comments. Just send us a text, message or an email. Now, of course, we have on this show to discuss this Abhishek Sharma, who wrote and directed the film Tere Bin Laden in his first major movie. He's joining us from New Delhi. And in Bangkok, we have actor Ali Zafar. He's one of Pakistan's best-selling pop artists. He plays the lead character in the movie. This is his first leading role in a Bollywood movie. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. And on this issue of using comedy as a powerful tool against terrorism, for example, we had a couple of emails. I'm going to put two of them back to back to you, if I may. The first one is from a viewer by the name of Marco Milonga, who wrote in saying, "Humour, if done right, is a powerful tool that can be used to discredit the authority of any leader, including leaders of terrorist organisations or leaders of the opinion-driven news media. It's hard to argue against laughs." And the second one is from Auj Khan, who wrote in saying, "Humour is the best way to establish a sense of objectivity. By ridiculing the ludicrous nature of this war on terror, the film offers more than a comedic relief, it presents a brilliant message." What was the message you were trying to get across when making this?
Actually, more than a message, it was a comment. I always believe that messages are something that you are stressing a point of view when you say that I'm giving a message. But when you're saying that I'm giving a comment, then it could be very it's not aggressive in nature. All I'm doing in this film, I think all of us were trying to do, was just give a perspective towards the post 9/11 world from the point of view of a Pakistani journalist. Which is also the point of view of largely the South Asian people out here. So we are just looking into the post 9/11 world. We are looking at the American dream, the war on terror, and commenting on all these issues, including Islamophobia. So it's just a comment, and I think people should, when they are watching the film, they should take out from from it whatever they think is is appealing to them. The idea is that I'm just giving a perspective of a very large population of South Asians.
Well, of course, you managed to create a fantastic lookalike when it came to Osama bin Laden. Let's take a look at how you did this now. First, here's the picture of the real Osama bin Laden. And then here we've got a look at the actor Pradyuman Singh before your makeup artists get to him. And now, of course, a little cinema magic converting him into the fake Osama bin Laden. Now, I gather you researched real and fake bin Laden videos for the film when you were writing it.
Yeah, I mean, when I got this idea, after that I got interested into the conspiracy theories which are floating around, on the net, that some of the bin Laden videos could be fake. So I studied almost all the bin Laden videotapes that were available on the internet, and there were one or two which were if you go, there's a website called what really happened, and there was this one particular videotape of Osama bin Laden in which he really didn't look like Osama bin Laden, which was floating on the net. So I studied all these, and apart from that, I really studied the actual Osama bin Laden tapes, the authentic ones, to study the kind of videotapes, the nature of them, how he would speak, and what would be the background, to get a little idea, because so that a part of authenticity can be brought in into the film. So that was largely the research that I did for this particular concept.
Now, the Osama bin Laden character in your movie essentially gets duped into doing the tape of an Osama bin Laden. And here, let's have a quick look at in the movie where he realizes what's happened.
देखिए तेरा चाचा टीवी पे
चाचा वो आप नहीं, जिसका चाचा उसामा है।
Now, I gather the inspiration for this movie came when your wife happened to see you with a towel on your head and said you looked like Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I had this very bad headache, you know, almost a migraine. So I wrapped around a towel, which is usually my habit when I have this bad headache. And I had a longer beard at that time. So my wife just commented that, you know, you look like bin Laden. She said it very jokingly. So I think that comment stayed in that amusing kind of a way in my head. And I thought that that could be a great concept, that if somebody looks like bin Laden, you know, and what you could do with it in a comic way. So that's how it started, actually.
What sort of reaction have you had from people about the topic itself? Any backlash on putting a comedic spin on such a serious issue?
Actually, not at all. You know, I have not got any negative feedback on this film, which is, I know it's very strange looking at the nature of the film and the kind of concept that it is. The only thing that I got, you know, there was one anonymous letter that we got in Walkwater Media early on, that was very early on before the release of the film, which was also about that, you know, maybe we are trying to support bin Laden by making this film, we are glorifying bin Laden's character. And that was an anonymous letter, not a serious threat. Secondly, I think I've one or two, you know, not emails, but comments on the YouTube videos that I've read, which are a little negative, that, you know, why are you you know, portraying bin Laden like that. But I think even these people have not seen the film. They are completely commenting on the trailers of the film, because, you know, in the film it's not actually the real bin Laden, and when you see the film, you see that the joke is actually on something else altogether.
Now, we had an email that came in from one of our viewers. I'll put this to you. It's from Winbird Johnstown, who says, Pakistan's decision to ban Tere Bin Laden is nothing short of a grave injustice to all Pakistanis who love to laugh. Does Ali Zafar have enemies within the Pakistan government that led to the censorship? Because I know, of course, they did. The Pakistani government said there's a danger in making this kind of movie because it could incite people to attack more. I mean, any kind of reaction from the government directly to you?
No, we have not been talking to the government because the film's distributor is responsible for censorship, and that's why the censor board members usually talk to them. And in this case, Ali Zafar was just supposed to distribute it himself. So, you know, I have no words to express this. It's I don't understand why they've banned it, because first of all, they said in the initial days that they are banning it because they fear that there could be some backlash from the terrorist organizations because the way bin Laden has been shown. Though that's a separate argument, that, you know, it's not bin Laden, it's the fake bin Laden, and the film is actually on, you know, a take on war on terror and American dream. Anyways, even if we take that, what happened, we went into appeal after that, as in Ali Zafar went into appeal after that, and around 2 or 3 weeks later they came up saying that we are not releasing this film because of its obscene language and vulgar dialogues. So I really don't understand what the real reason was, you know, to ban this film.
No.
And this is something that has not only led to monetary loss, but it is also, in a way, a big setback from artistic relationships between the two countries.
There are those in the media, in the Western media, who've said that actually Americans should watch this movie because it makes them realize how silly some of the things that are done in the name of foreign policy and national security are. Now, of course, here you pull no punches when it comes to commenting on America and some of its foreign policies. We're going to show a short clip of the movie here where you look at some of the stuff that goes on when you look at the war on terror.
I present to you Operation Kick-Ass. Start bombarding the suspect Afghan region with cruise missiles and B-52 bombers every 1 hour. Arrest a few mujahideens. Spread the rumor that we're closing in.
Show the world that we're about to catch our guy. Every soldier should carry a movie camera with wide-angle lenses to capture every moment. Increase the panic in Osama's mind. Psych him out.
And he will himself fall into our trap.
We'll do him in.
What have people said about the negative stereotyping of America, Abhishek?
So I've been reading all the reviews that we are getting in the Western media, and you know, none of them have given a negative feedback on the way I've portrayed America in the film. Because I think somewhere even in the Western world, people agree with the fact that the American foreign policy, especially under President George Bush, has been misconstrued, and there have been wrongdoings. So I think that's why even Americans and the Western world has not been judgmental as far as the portrayal of America is concerned in the film.
Has this opened doors? Has this opened doors in terms of a good relationship between the Indian and Pakistani film industries from your perspective? Is this kind of way to bridge the kind of gap that exists?
We had taken nice steps, but I think rather than helping, it is a setback now because of the ban. If the film was not banned in Pakistan, then it would have been great, because this film, looking at the reactions in India, and usually the films that work in India, they work in Pakistan, and the Pakistani people who have seen the film on pirated CDs, which are freely available, mind you, in Pakistan, they are loving the film. So the film would have been a big success in Pakistan, and that would have really helped. But by banning this film, the Pakistani censor board has just taken steps back. So it was better before than now. The only good thing is that Ali Zafar and me, as a Pakistani actor and an Indian director, have worked together, and that might open doors here in India. But as far as Pakistani industry is concerned, it is a setback, and I'm saying this with a lot of disappointment. Not only monetarily, but it has been an emotional setback as an artist for me that they're banning a film which is supposed to be their perspective. So that's really it's really bad, and I think people are going to get discouraged by this. I don't think that you will see any Indian film very soon which will be based in Pakistan or talking about Pakistani characters.
Abhishek, thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Riz. It was a pleasure talking to you.
We have to take a short break now. When we return, the lead role of the film Tere Bin Laden, Ali Zafar, joins us to give us his take on the new movie. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Tere Bin Laden is a surprise comedy film hit out of India, taking a satirical look on the war against terror. Is that subject too sensitive for humour? Joining me now is Ali Zafar, the Pakistani actor-singer who's been called Pakistan's Prince of Pop. In Tere Bin Laden, he plays the lead role of an ambitious Pakistani journalist, also named Ali. Ali, thanks for being with us. Now, did you have any hesitation in playing in a movie that features Osama bin Laden, especially as, of course, you're Pakistani?
Well, yes, initially when I heard about it, when Abhishek, the director, told me that, this story involves this journalist who makes a fake Osama tape, I was a little apprehensive because the sensibilities and sensitivities in Pakistan are a little different from the rest of the world presently. And I deal with people, I go into public and all that, so I couldn't take the chance. But when I read the script, when he narrated the script to me, I realized that the movie talks about something more and an issue at large, something more than just, I wouldn't even say that it's a spoof on him. It talks about a larger issue. And I was convinced that, this story needs to be told.
Well, Ali, it is a very funny movie. I did see it, and I know, as you say, it raises certain issues. Now, racial stereotyping, of course, is something that I guess we've had to learn with, in everyday life, particularly in America. I'm going to show a short excerpt from the movie here where we look at the issue of racial profiling.
Excuse me.
So, what are you doing here? Your seatbelt sign's on.
I know, but you dropped something.
Of course, an easy mistake with the racial profiling. Ali, have you ever had any real-life experience with racial profiling yourself? Have you ever had to experience this kind of thing?
Actually, coincidentally, the first time I went to the United States was the year after the 9/11, and obviously we, as a youth and as young children, had always seen the United States as the land of dream, and everything is so nice and sweet, and everybody's. So I mean, with that sort of an image, I went there. But unfortunately, as soon as I stood in the immigration line, and I went to the immigration officer. Their attitude and his attitude and the way he dealt with me and spoke to me kind of gave me a strange vibe. But this time around, during my second tour, during the Obama regime, I was going through the check, the whatever
scanner, yeah.
machines and all that. So there was this woman in front of the scanner, and she was smiling at me throughout. So I was like, things have really changed. You know, this woman is looking at me and smiling. Is she like trying to ask me out for the night? But then I went a little forward, and she's like, "Hi, how are you?" I was like, "Hi, how are you?" She was like, "Can I see your bag, please?" So I was like, "Okay." And then she took everything out, but she did the same thing in a very nice, sweet manner, and she was smiling while she was doing that. So it felt a lot better. So I think things are slowly changing now.
Well, let me put an email to you, if I may. We've got an interesting viewer from one of our comment from one of our viewers. Jamila Kinadid wrote in saying, whenever a tragic situation is made into a satire, there usually is one party who's laughing while the other takes offense. For Muslims, we finally get to laugh. I mean, is that the case here? Finally a chance to laugh at the silliness of some of the stuff that happens?
Well, you know, actually, they say that, you know, as you said, that laughter can be sometimes the best medicine, and laughter can sometimes do what can't be done otherwise, and sometimes making something on a very serious note can have its limitations, but you can convey the message on a lighter tone in a way that people can also absorb it more. So I think laughter does help, but you know, just because the situation was funny or it was done in a satirical way doesn't actually, the thought is not funny. The thought is serious in itself. It's just that it's been translated through a medium which is easier to absorb, which I think is an intelligent thing to, you know, have been adapted by the director.
Of course, there are negative reactions too. I'll put another email to you. This one came from a viewer by the name of Robert Ntongo, who says, well, making humour out of the world's deadliest terrorist is idiotic. Imagine a comedy about the Pakistan floods, Haiti, or the conditions faced by the Palestinians. You know, I mean, having made this movie, can you see that perspective? I mean, just tell me what sort of reaction you've had from people to touching on this taboo subject.
Well, there are all sorts of reactions. We do understand that people, you know, people are different, and people react differently, and that's very understandable. But you have to believe in your message, and you have to believe in what you're saying. And the fact remains that, you know, 9/11, we all feel for it, and that was a very tragic incident. But the amount of people that have died in Pakistan is a lot more than, you know, people might have died in 9/11. And so, you know, this is a very serious issue for us. I mean, people are dying almost every day, every second week. And before the floods, the bombings were at peak, and our people were dying almost every second week. So it's nothing funny for us either. No. But I think we needed that tool of humor. The director must have thought so. I mean, he's the writer and he's the director, and it's his film. I'm the actor. But I think it was communicated in a manner that did justice to it.
Yeah, I was going to say, on this issue of it being banned in Pakistan, you know, you're a big star, of course, in Pakistan, and I wonder your appeal to the president, the prime minister, to let your countrymen see this movie. What sort of reaction have you had?
People have seen the movie in pirated DVDs anyway, because it's very easy to get the movies illegally inside Pakistan. But it was extremely difficult for me to get it inside Pakistan legally and show it in theaters. So people have seen the movie, and those who have seen it, 95% or even more so, have loved it and liked it, which I think is a pretty good ratio. They thought that, yes, this message should have been conveyed, and also perhaps this is the first time that an Indian has made a movie, that Bollywood has made a movie about Pakistan, which also breaks a lot of stereotypes, and which kind of conveys a message that the people of Pakistanis were perhaps wishing for to be conveyed. So that was also a good thing.
Of course, Ali, there are the terrible floods in Pakistan. I wonder, as such a prominent figure there, as a celebrity, to what degree you've been asked to get involved and try and get some relief for, you know, the tragic situation there.
Well, I have personally planned a series of concerts, a series of fundraisers where I've requested all the artists from Pakistan, all the prominent artists, to come and perform and raise funds for the victims. Plus, I do think that we do need international faces to kind of go out there, international stars and singers and all those, to go out there and urge people to give in more. Because I still think that, as we all know, that the kind of money that is required to rebuild is we still are not getting that. So I was thinking I'm trying to get in touch with Bono and Sting. My management has been trying to get in touch with them for a while, but we haven't been successful as yet. Maybe they're touring or busy. But hopefully, if we do, then I would like to request them that, to do something and to raise awareness on this. Because I think they have a lot of credibility, and they are musicians, they are singers, they're sensitive souls, and they care about people. So I mean, when they ask people would really consider the appeal. So I'm on a personal level trying all those things. I'm going to go to India and ask the Indian celebrities and stars also to kind of give some bites or speak about it and to create more awareness. So I'm doing my bit, my part. Then after this first round of fundraisers, I'm going to do a second round of fundraisers, maybe on the later stage, because a lot of energy and time is required for rebuilding, but because the effects are very long lasting, and it'll take a lot of time to obviously rebuild that entire destroyed area and the destruction.
Well, Ali Zafar, I wish you luck. Thank you very much. Great talking with you.
Thank you.
And thank you for being with us with your questions. Remember, you can follow our program on Twitter. We'll keep you notified on upcoming shows, and you can send us questions and comments to pose to our guests. We'll see you next time. From me and the team, goodbye.